Could this be the next big step forward in DJ technology? Listen, just check this out. So 2 weeks ago, Algorithm, the company behind this awesome DJ app, that's DJay Pro, flew me out to Munich at their head office to show me some new DJ technology they've been working on. And they presented me with one of these. Now this, for anyone that doesn't know, is the Meta Quest headset. It's a VR headset. And full disclosure, I do not get on with these headsets. They make me feel a bit nauseous. Any sort of movement, I just don't vibe with it. Gives me a bit of a headache for too long. However, there was a big caveat to this, and there is some groundbreaking technology to cover in this huge step forward for DJing. Actually, there are two big things here to cover. The second one I'm most excited about. This is the game changer for me. But first, I need to show you that DJay is now a fully fledged app in the Meta Quest headset. Let me show you around. So as you can see, I'm now in the DJay app in VR, and we can just literally go on classic. This is the pass-through mode, so you can see the studio around, and we've got these virtual decks in front of us. We can simply move the crossfader, play a song. We can play the opposite side, mix between the two. You can use both hands. These are just hand gestures to fade in and out. We can tap on the actual waveform to scrub through. We can move the vinyl needle to move it to different positions. We can grab records, put them on, and it's all as simple as that. Then we have some really cool stuff. If we go into effects here, we can use this to create some effects. We've got rolls, and then there's your mixing modes, so we can turn the EQs up and down, the filters, we've got hot cues, which is really cool, right? So it's all in this VR space. There's a really cool thing as well where we can put headphone cue on here, and you won't be able to hear this, I don't think, but if I hold my hand up to my ear, it basically cues up the next record and plays it in that ear, which is just a weird sensation. We can also go to the landscape and we can put ourselves in the club, for example. And now we've got people dancing in time to the music. And you can see that they're dancing. If we put our hands in the air, it does some interactive stuff. But in all honesty, this is where the VR experience goes. Now this is all good and well. However, there is no tactile element to it. So after 20 minutes or so, it starts to just feel like a bit of a game rather than actual DJing. But that's where this next update comes in. So the full VR experience is cool. It's a fun thing to play with for 20 minutes, but it's nothing that groundbreaking in my opinion. It does feel quite nice to be able to use hand gestures rather than controllers. But like I said, the real step forward here is the fact that Algorithm have now been able to synchronize MIDI, visuals and audio all together with low latency, which means you can bring in some actual DJ hardware to this setup and make it a much more functional and tactile experience. Let's take a look. Now this is where for me the fun really begins and why it was a game changer for me, because now we're bringing the tactile element back in. I have the controller plugged in here directly into the headset. It works with a bunch of different controllers, whatever Algorithm DJay supports. And then it's as simple as we have the visuals now in front of us, hovering in space, in mixed reality. Everything else works the same. So if I go on the landscapes, I can still put myself in different landscapes, like in an arena, for example. You can see when I play the music, we've got this pass-through section, so we can still see the controller. And you can see people are all dancing. If I put my hands up, you see that we get some cool extra fireworks, and this works all the way around. We've got all sorts going on all around us. Then all the controls are as we usually have on a controller. You know, we can do our mixing with the EQs. We can apply effects still here. The jog wheels work, hot cues. Everything is as normal on the controller, but then we still also have those cool spacey effects. set of loops. We can go through our library and browse different songs, so I can just scroll through like this. We could load a new one in. It loads the song in. So this is where it's really interesting, because we've got the tactile element, but we've also got this visual. We can put ourselves in this new environment, or we can just be in mixed reality. Here you can see we're in the studio, but straight away, as soon as I go to a different environment, after 5 minutes, I feel like I'm just, you know, in the moment, in the music. Especially, it's better than being in just a standard bedroom environment. I'll just flick through some of these environments so you can see how cool they are. So here we've got a skate park, maybe on Venice Beach. Let's go to different ones in space. And you'll see that all the asteroids, for example, move with the jug wheels, which is really cool. We're getting all the way around us. Put our hands up and some madness happens. Let's go to a different one. Balloon. You can see we're nice and high up. So it's just really cool, it's really immersive. So the groundbreaking technology here for DJs to be aware of is the fact that they've managed to synchronize the MIDI messages, you know, the MIDI controller with the audio that's in the headset and the visuals that have been developed. All those things working together in a low latency is a tricky thing to do. It's definitely the start of a journey into a new way to connect and interact with DJ equipment. Just up until this point, like we've been so used to plugging in a laptop or a mobile device, and that's where the visuals are, I can see the next step in technology moving in this direction. Now, don't get me wrong, these look ridiculous. I'm not a fan of how they look, and I think it looks pretty ridiculous to be wearing a headset like this and DJing. However, if anyone's been keeping tabs on what Mark Zuckerberg's doing, you'll know that that is not the end goal. He's trying to make this technology as small as a normal pair of glasses, and I guarantee in the next few years, we're all going to be wearing smart glasses like we wear Apple Watches. What that means then is we are going to bring the screen to our retinas. We're going to bring the screen to this pass-through environment so we can see the audience, we can see the crowd, but we can have the visuals and the displays just hovering there in midair. And there are so many use cases for this. Something I'm really, really excited about exploring with Algorithm DJ. There are a few things to understand as well. This is V1. It's the very first iteration of this integration, and it's only going to get better from here. The other thing to think about as well is when I put myself in like the club environment, for example, after 5 minutes of DJing in that environment, in the virtual environment, I really did lose myself and didn't think that I was in this studio anymore. It made me feel more in tune with that environment. And fair enough, it's nothing like the real thing, but it's much closer than standing in your bedroom, for example. So it can definitely put you in that environment a bit more. And I can imagine we could end up seeing, you know, clubs, like super clubs in Ibiza or Las Vegas coming to an experience. So you get the opportunity to play in those big super venues without ever getting booked there, which is an awesome thing to think about. Now, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. This is such new technology, just like when we had sync, just like when even CDJs took over from turntables in the DJ booth. All of these big shifts in DJ technology obviously have a lot of opinions circling around them. So I'd love to know what your opinion is. And is this something you could see yourself adopting in the future? Another thing to keep in mind is actually these headsets are only a couple $100, and it works with the Meta Quest 2, 3, 3S. And because they're only a couple $100, it actually makes a basic DJ setup quite cheap now, because a phone to plug into a controller could be $1,000. A laptop could be even more than that. So it could actually be a very affordable way to get started as a DJ and provide that software and an all new experience for DJs when starting out. If you already own one of these headsets, it's going to cost you $20 to go download the app, and you can play around with it and use it and have some fun with it. If you do, please let us know your experience. What do you like? What do you dislike? I know that Algorithm are going to be watching these comments very closely because they're going to want to make this the best it can be. Thank you for watching. I'm really excited to hear your opinions, and I'll see you in another video very soon.